So here's my question tonight. What can be responsibly done to save Medicare and Social Security, plus save the budget from going over the cliff? I got some ideas from Michael Cannon. He's at the CATO Institute. It's a libertarian-leaning group which does back reform. When is the crash coming that everyone has talked about and feared for so long?
If a crash comes, it'll be because there's some sort of spending constraint or budget constraint that tells Congress you can't keep borrowing to fund these programs because we're running enormous deficits. The national debt is $20 trillion. And everybody loves these programs as long as they don't have to pay for them. And so if we can keep pushing more and more of the cost of these programs onto future taxpayers, some of whom haven't even been born yet, well, then sure, people will keep, or these programs will keep humming along. And people will enjoy what benefits they do get from those programs. But if we have a Greek-style debt crisis or Congress passes a balanced budget amendment, then we're going to have to start paying for the programs that we're running. And we're going to get a backlash against these programs, and cuts will come.
How is it then, Michael, that many times you hear Social Security is running at a surplus?
Well, that is because there is a dedicated Social Security tax, and it's supposed to go into a Social Security trust fund, just like Medicare revenues from the Medicare payroll tax are supposed to go into a Medicare trust fund. But these are fictions. You know, these are just really just a lie that the government tells us because there are no assets in these trust funds. There's a filing cabinet in West Virginia that has some pieces of paper in it, but the trust fund has no impact on the government's ability to fund the commitments it has made in Social Security and Medicare.
What are some humane solutions that might be out there that could be considered?
The most humane thing we can do for seniors is to turn Medicare into a program like Social Security, where instead of the government telling people, here's the package of benefits you're going to, the health coverage you're going to get, and then the government deciding how much it's going to pay for millions or billions of individual services provided to seniors all across the country. All the money that it's spending right now, give it to seniors, give low-income seniors and sicker seniors bigger Medicare checks, and wealthier and healthier seniors, smaller Medicare checks, so you're sort of means testing it there as well, and then just trust them to spend it the way we trust seniors to spend their Social Security checks.
About what dollar amount would you be, proposing?
The best evidence we have suggests that $1 out of every $3 that Medicare spends, that's $200 billion per year, does absolutely nothing to make seniors healthier or happier with the care that they're receiving. So think about that as a huge buffer that protects seniors from the costs of their own mistakes. They can waste $33,000 of the $100,000 check that Medicare gives them, and on average, it won't harm the health of Medicare enrollees.
Do you see any overlap here where there could be an agreement among seniors, among taxpayers, among politicians?
Given the budget realities, ultimately, we're going to have to reform Medicare along the lines that I've described, because the only other alternative to that will be some really brutal forms of government rationing that leave people who would otherwise have adequate access to medical care without it. And so I really I hope it doesn't come to a crisis. I hope we don't need a crisis in order to get us the bipartisan support we need for these kinds of reforms. But that support is going to come one way or the other, I think.